What's happening, everybody? Make sure I got everything set up here. Should be good to go. Welcome. Give me a second here. Okay, looks like we're good, huh? Audio good, video good, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about justice or injustice. And the reason we're going to be talking about that is because the Thai courts came down with a ruling regarding the police officer, the motorcycle cop who ran over a doctor, a female doctor. And his punishment is 1 year in jail, 1 year and 15 days, plus a 4,000 baht fine for a human life. And I wanted to think about that a little bit. I wanted to look at whether or not it was fair, because it seems very unfair. They're suing the police force and the police officer for 72 million baht. Which you might think is quite a bit of money. It's a little over $2 million, like 2.2. But the chance of them getting that is, I believe, is very slim. So how fair is it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Carl, how you doing? Where are you? When you going back home? All that good stuff. When you coming back to Thailand? Things are changing here. They are getting better. I was just in Pattaya yesterday. I went to go visit somebody. And it was noticeably different. Lots more people, and a lot of people were walking around not wearing masks at all. And I noticed more people here are walking around without masks. However, a lot of people here are wearing their mask down around their neck. So, hey Carlos, how you doing? But it is starting to slow down a little bit, and Pattaya was noticeably busier. Thai people and foreigners. And I gotta say that, things are they're picking up. The other day, if you caught the Minburi stream, the stream where I went to Minburi, and I went to CASHAPP 2, there's a second CASHAPP. That place was packed. Now, they were all Thais, but the place was packed, and the vast majority of them were wearing their masks. But when I'm out and about in this area, and like around the bus stop where I was, in Sukhumvit, and the bus terminal, less people are wearing masks, and more people are riding around on their motorcycles with the mask down or no mask at all. So the mentality is starting to change, the attitude is starting to change, and like I said, Pattaya is noticeably busier. But a few things about Pattaya, but let me just say, before I get started, let's get through all this, the usual nonsense. Do me a favor, if you like the stream, you like the channel, first of all, watch the videos, please. Some of them are cultural, some of them are me talking trash, some of them are me giving a serious opinion on something. I like to think at least they're a little bit entertaining. So go visit the videos that I put up. Check out the live streams. Hit thumbs up if you would. Remember to hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you would do so. I'd appreciate that. If you really like the channel and you got a few extra bucks, then go down and hit the join button. Become a member of my channel. I got 35 people that are members now through YouTube. I'm aiming for 50. It's slow, but it is progressing. You can also use Patreon. You can go to anamericaninbangkok.com, get some merch, or you can do the usual, the PayPal, the CASHAPP, the Buy Me a Coffee stuff, whatever. Up to you. Or you can just watch. So now that we got that through, I want to thank, let me see here if I can find it. Yes, I want to thank the following people who are members of my YouTube channel. John, TKO Sam, Zach, Mr. Carlos, Puya, Andy Stubbs, GoGoHopping.com, David, Charles, Stephen K, Jim, Fire Dude, Beeson, John, John Frum, Ryan, Patrick, JRD, Mr. JRD, Richard Gallagher, we haven't heard from him in a while, Raymond, Swan, Sean, Carol, Mr. Pattaya Bob, who unfortunately I was unable to visit with yesterday because he's under the weather. Two Minds, Mr. Alan Tim, another Johnny Siam, Mindy, Mr. Mike Clinton, Mr. Charles Allison, Lee, Tony, Henry, LH, Jim, and also Steve. So thank you very much. And also to my Patreon patrons and everybody else. So thank you very much once again. Now, as Carlos said, he's got 34.11. Just a few minutes ago when I checked, it was 34.10. So the dollar is finally over 34. I'm happy about that. Hopefully it will stay here or go up to 35. Now, the temperature. Man, it is just flat out blazing hot. It is not nice. I mean, we're in the house with our air conditioner on, sitting in the room with the air conditioner, and it's still hot. And that air conditioner cranks it out. Right now it's 90 degrees, high in 93, low of 82. It's currently the feel-like temperature at 9 o'clock, 5 degrees. The feel-like temperature at 7:30 was 102. So 7:30 a.m., it's 102 degrees. Unbelievable. 69% humidity, supposedly 10 miles an hour, winds 10 miles an hour to the north. I don't see any wind. 36.32. I'd like it to be up to 56. Why not just make it 100? Let's see here. Visibility, a whopping 10 kilometers, which is, well, for some reason they changed it to kilometers, so it's a little bit better than usual. 30% chance of rain. It is partly cloudy, and the air quality is 65, which is moderate. It's almost good. The other day it was 12. I was like, what's going on here? Gennaro, what's happening? Everybody, what's going on? Don't forget to hit the like button. To smash it, bang it, hit it. So this cop got a year and 15 months. Sent a message to my buddy telling him this, American guy. And you know what his words were? If this happened to my wife, I would wait for him to get out of jail and put a bullet in his head. That's what my buddy said. Now, that may seem extreme, and I understand, you know, like it's easy to say that. It's not so easy to do it. but that gives you the mentality of most people. It's like, a year and 15 days, you ran over somebody in your motorcycle. You've got all kinds of, let's see here, let me see if I can find the specifics, but, the guy didn't, I don't think he even had a license, didn't have insurance. It's just, it's crazy. So they originally sentenced him to 2 years. They cut it in half because he pled guilty. They were going to fine him 8,000 baht. They cut that in half because he pled guilty. So now he's going to serve 1 year and 15 days, and he has to pay a fine of 4,000 baht. Now, that's disgusting, in my opinion. However, I don't want to just say, this is Thailand. It only happens only in Thailand. No, it doesn't only happen in Thailand. Because I know for a fact, and I'm sure people have heard of this, but, in the United States it happens just as well. Let me read something. Penalties and sentencing. Many states recognize different degrees of vehicular manslaughter. Statutes typically authorize more severe punishment for vehicular manslaughter convictions involving drunk or drug drivers, as opposed to convictions based on non-DUI traffic offenses. For example, in Georgia, a driver who causes a death while intoxicated can be charged with first-degree vehicular homicide, a felony carrying up to 15 years in prison. But a driver who causes a death while committing a moving traffic offense, such as failure to maintain lane position, is guilty of a second-degree vehicular homicide, a misdemeanor carrying a maximum of 1 year in jail. Penalties differ greatly from state to state. In Alabama, a person convicted of vehicular manslaughter based on DUI faces a maximum of 5 years in prison, while in Minnesota, the same offense can yield up to 30 years incarceration. So this is not, I didn't even check in Europe or anywhere else, but I'm going to say that this is not specific to Thailand. Here's another case here. A recent vehicular homicide case received national press coverage because the defendant was not the driver of the vehicle, but was a pedestrian. Raquel Nelson was charged with second-degree vehicular homicide after her 4-year-old son, AJ, was struck and killed by a vehicle as Nelson, AJ, and Nelson's other children prepared to cross a Georgia highway in 2010. An investigation determined that AJ's death was caused by Nelson's act of attempting to cross the highway. What was her penalty here? The driver of the vehicle was charged with first-degree vehicular homicide. He was drunk. The parent was charged with, Raquel Nelson was charged with a second-degree vehicular homicide. At sentencing, the trial judge sentenced Nelson to 12 months of probation and 40 hours of community service. Now, I don't know what would make someone cross a freeway with your kids. I have no idea. I don't know that that's a good penalty, but, this is the point is that justice is not truly justice in some instances. Sometimes, the best you're going to get is something. And I guess the way that the court views it is something is better than nothing, and they're trying to err on the side of some semblance of fairness. But I don't see any fairness in this case. And you could say, this is what happens in Thailand with foreigners. The foreigners are always getting screwed. But this is the Thais. This is a doctor. Now, they're suing for 72 million, and I suspect that they came up with that number because of her potential earnings over the course of, say, 40 years or more. But yeah, I'd like to know what you guys have to say, because To me, it's ludicrous. It's 5,000 baht fine for smoking in a hotel room. Yeah. What about if you? What's the penalty for smoking and vaping? Let's find out. A fine of up to 30,000 baht and a jail sentence of up to 10 years. So there you go. Knew I forgot something. Well, yeah, I mean, the fact that this guy is a cop, and then his father is a high-ranking officer, that means something. Obviously, it means more than the life of a doctor who can, in my opinion, it probably would do a hell of a lot more than this motorcycle cop will ever do in his life. You know, and I'm not saying that sarcastically, that's the truth. The doctor will probably help far more people than this police officer. I knew one cop in Phuket who shot his Myanmar in the head on accident when he was drunk at a bar. Guy got transferred for a year, then back to Phuket. Yeah, that's what I mean. Don't want to pay thugs to side with the populace when push comes to shove. Just vehicular. Well, I got to tell you, I always thought that Thailand had the worst traffic record in the world. That's untrue, apparently. It's second in the world. It is, however, first in Asia. They're the worst in Asia. Let's see here. Road safety. This has nothing to do with, or does this have something to do with Thailand? Actually, the way that it looks here, the mortality rate has been dropping in Thailand. In 2000, I'm looking at 2015, it was 35.66. And that was the highest of anywhere, even in Africa. Well, in Africa, Libya, it's 72.5. So Libya is the worst. Thailand is second. That's just one. That's from an insurance magazine, their rating. But let me see here. High. See, Thailand is high. Death rate 30.24. I don't know what that means. That must be per day. Sweden is 2.31. America's up there, though. Cambodia 23.14. I don't know where the United States is. Zimbabwe 61.90. Look at this. The new American in Bangkok polo shirt. Embroidered polo. Yeah, so Thailand, where is Thailand on this? They are way down on the list here. It's number 36 here. Oh, well, that's it. Yeah. Well, it's worth less than if somebody gets caught vaping. The bail is 200,000 baht. The police report, Norawit, Mr. Norawit Buadal, was driving the big bike at high speed in the left lane of traffic, then quickly switched to the right lane, apparently after seeing other cars stopped at the zebra crossing. At the time, Dr. Katai was on the crossing and she was struck by the motorcycle driven by Norawit. Now, you think about something. We hit hard, solidly. It wasn't like the guy's knee hit her. He ran her over. Both parties were injured. She was rushed to Rajaviti Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Three days after the accident, the officer entered the monkhood at a temple in the Rama 3 area only to quit 3 days later to question his suitability as a monk. Well, I don't know about the suitability. The reason for becoming a monk would be questionable. The fatal accident triggered public uproar and demands for better safety for pedestrians using zebra crossings. In quick response to public sentiment, the BMA, Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, ordered improvements to zebra crossings across the capital by repainting and expanding the crossings to become more visible to drivers. How visible does it have to be? You know that any time after you know where they are. Drivers know where they are. They're not stupid. They just don't care. They want to go where they want to go. Think about something. When people are driving, why do they drive so fast? Okay, some people just like to drive fast. Some people think, I got to get there. I'm in a big hurry. No, you're not. I used to tell this one guy. He comes screeching into the, I lived in this apartment complex in Pomona, California. Shithole. He comes screeching into the apartment complex. I knew the guy. He comes screeching in. I mean, like going 40, 50 miles an hour in the complex. And I would say, what are you rushing for? You're rushing towards your death or someone else's death. And that's what I didn't understand. The guy's hauling ass around. And I'm like, what's your hurry? To get into the driveway? To get home to have a beer? I mean, you can't wait an extra 5 minutes, slow down. What happens if you hit a little kid? The victim's family has filed a lawsuit with the civil court demanding 72 million baht in compensation from the accused and the Royal Thai Police. I personally don't think they're going to get anywhere near that, but we shall see. Yeah, there you go, General. Sharp shirt. I like the color. Do my best to run somebody over. Kids don't leave a big dent. Yeah, well. Okay, so let's see here. He faced 9 charges. Well, yeah, that's one of the points that I was making, Carl. This has nothing to do with foreigners. It reeks of elitism. But see, this is the thing. You think about it. OJ. I can't even think of all the cases where people who have money, have considerable amounts of money, they get off, or they get a piss poor sentence that's people should be ashamed of, a judge should be ashamed of. And it's because they have money and they can do that. Now, I've got a piece here. Let me see. Here are 8 examples, 8 ways America's legal system punishes people who are poor. Bail money. The difference between freedom and jail depends solely on wealth status. A wealthy person can buy their pre-trial freedom, keep their job, and live at home while preparing their defense. An arrestee who is poor must stay in jail for days, weeks, months, or years until their case is resolved. Those detained prior to trial are more likely to lose their jobs, get evicted from their homes, and be unable to care for dependent relatives. The money bail system does little to promote liberty, public safety, court appearance rates. All of these goals can be better achieved through other means, and needless pretrial detention can actually increase crime rates. So there's one way. Oh well, yeah, Red Bull. That's the perfect example there. Well, hey Andy, I looked at China. China is maybe because they're driving slower, but they are nowhere near as bad. 17.73 is the death rate per 100,000. Thailand is almost double that at 30.24. Okay, the private bail companies. Private bail companies exacerbate the inequality caused by pre-trial money bail. Those wealthy enough to pay their full bail amount get it back when their case ends, even if they are found guilty. But those who cannot afford the full bail amount, over 6 figures, must contract with a private bail company to pay 10%, which can be tens of thousands of dollars, and that money is never returned. Those who can't afford to pay 10% can be placed under predatory debt agreements with extortionate interest, creating a debt that will take years to pay off and take money away from basic amenities such as food, shelter, and transportation. So there's another way that the legal system in America punishes people. Well, there are training courses, yes, Janara, there are. This place is filling up. I have to say, I have a video clip, and I thought I sent it to people in the line group. I might not have. I was in a taxi the other day. Now the taxi, see, when you come out of the mall here, at the exit where the taxis exit, you cannot go straight. You have to turn right. You can go left, and you can go across and turn right, but you cannot go straight. And that's because people are turning right across. So there's people coming this way and people going this way. So if you go straight, then they're turning right into you. That's my stick figure. So, yeah, and they also don't really look for your license either unless you get into an accident. So the guy is very clearly trying to go straight. Now, I never say anything because it is a lot faster. I just go, hey, man, you're the driver, not me. It's your responsibility. I'm not going to tell you which way to go unless it suits my needs. And so he started to go that way, and then he figured, oh, I better go right. So he started to go right, and then there was a motorcycle there. He couldn't, and he was telling the guy, he was yelling at the guy, go up, go up. So finally, the guy looked at him and started staring at him. And this guy was he's a big guy, but he's a big fat tub of shit. He starts yelling at the motorcycle driver, and the motorcycle's saying, what? They're going back and forth. And finally, the the taxi driver says, hey, you got a problem with me? Or, and so he gets out of the taxi. I think they're going to go to blows. I think he's going to whack him one. And at the end, the only thing that saved the situation from turning uglier is that the light changed and they had to get out of the middle of the road. But that was one little instance, and there was no need for it. You follow the freaking rules of the road. I can't tell you how many times a driver is going straight. He's going 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers an hour, and there's people trying to make U-turns. Now, he has the right of way. Anywhere in the world, he's going straight. He doesn't have to stop for them. He needs to go straight. But these people will start to pull out, and they get out, and they just edge out into the middle of the road, and then they stop, and then everybody has to wait for them. And the truth is, if you just kept going straight and went around them, and, they don't stop. Now, maybe there's going to be an accident, but this is what I mean. Everything is cool here. Everything is mellow. They get along. They let each other in. Oh, yeah, come on in. Until they're in the mood where they're like, no, I need to go. I'm in a hurry. And I'm like, what the hell's the hurry? I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. You were lucky, Andy. Believe me. You were lucky. How many times have you driven here? A couple? You were lucky. If you have a problem, you are going to be wrong. You are going to be found the guilty party. Which is why I told you, I got a friend who was driving. He had a guy in the car with him. He was driving the guy's car because that guy was smashed. He was so drunk. And my buddy was a little bit drunk. They're driving, and they get into an accident with another Thai driver. The Thai driver was at fault. He pulled out at the last second, didn't see them, they ran into him. Long story short, the passenger ended up in a coma. The driver, my friend, ended up paying something like 800,000 baht. He had to pay some to the family and some to the driver of the other vehicle. They found him guilty almost immediately. And he was like, I didn't have a chance. No chance. He got a lawyer, he got everything. Nah, it didn't matter, man. You're in our country. If you weren't here, this wouldn't have happened. Now, they didn't find anything for the passenger. They didn't say, oh, you're going to have to cover his medical costs for the rest of your life. They didn't find anything. And they wanted money, but he was like, it's not going to happen. They knew it wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to be able to pay it. So, yeah, I think a dash cam is imperative. No blind spots. And I have to tell a little story about my trip to Pattaya. I said I don't recommend them to drive. About the only way that I would drive is if you are a longtime resident, you know the roads where you're driving, you are a very experienced driver, and you got great insurance. That's it. And yes, definitely have multiple cameras. Not necessarily. I'm leaning towards you're going to be wrong 90% of the time. No, of course not. They're not. It really, Andy, and I say this, with concern for you, and I know you're a grown man, but I would be so careful. You're better off driving a motorcycle, and that might end up with you dead. But at least with a motorcycle, it's unlikely you're going to kill somebody with a car. I really would be very, very careful. What was my story I was going to tell? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how many of these he was guilty of, but he got charged. This officer got charged with reckless driving, caused speeding, violating the Road Traffic Act by driving a vehicle without a registration plate. Who does that? Failure to keep motorcycle in the left lane, failure to give pedestrians the right of way at a crosswalk, violating the Car Act by using a vehicle with unpaid yearly tax, using an incomplete vehicle, there was no rear view mirror on the motorbike, using a vehicle without third-party insurance, driving without regard for others' safety. I'm going to say he was guilty of all of those. Damn shame. Damn shame. All right, so on another subject, well, first of all, I'm getting ready to go back to Bangkok. I'm over at what is it? Is it Mike's? I don't know. It's where the Burger King is, where the Taco Bell is. And I see a song tell. I go, hey, can you take me to the bus station? And the lady goes, yeah, 200 baht. I go, now there's no one in the song town. So they're not going to take you, all around town or somewhere far away for nothing, especially in a song town. They're not going to give it to you for 10 baht. She goes, give me 100 baht. Now, I didn't feel like arguing with her. It's hot as hell. It's really hot. I'm dripping in sweat. And I'm like, I just want to sit down somewhere. I say, okay. But she's going to charge me 200 baht. And she just goes, sorry, I didn't mean to. She was like, sorry for trying to rip me off. But anyway, I get on this song town. And there's this older lady. I say older, she's 45, 50 years old. She's got her mask on. And then sitting next to me, on the same row, is this Thai woman. And she's got the big sun hat and the tight spandex pants and the tight spandex top. The only thing is she weighed about 350. She was a big woman. Now, I'm not judging. I'm not thinking anything. I'm a big guy, whatever, This Japanese guy comes on. He's Mr. Golfer. You can tell by his bags. He's got the old Mizuno or whatever, Mizuno. He's got the shoes on. He's got the bag. He's got everything. He looks like a golfer. And so, as soon as he comes on, the girl's like, oh, hello, where are you from? And he's like, he can barely speak English. No, I wouldn't say Pumpui, Gennaro. I'd say more like elephant. Yeah, that's true, Carl, especially here. Anyway, she starts talking to that. She's trying to talk to him. He barely speaks English. She speaks English. Oh, she was a walrus. And so she's telling the guy, oh, where are you staying? She's gauging him. And he goes, oh, where are you coming from? Oh, I just came back from Phuket. I was working there. I work all over the world. And he goes, oh, where you work? And she said, I work in Malaysia. I work in Phuket. I work in Bangkok. I have many, many massage parlors. Now, personally, I think she's full of shit. She probably is just working her way, hoeing around. Yeah, she's gobbling the goo. She's giving massages, gobbling the goo, giving the happy endings, and then she goes off on her merry way, socks away the cash, and she goes to the next spot. She does that. She's probably very experienced in all ways. No. And so, she's sitting there trying to carry on a conversation with the guy, and I'm trying to ignore them. So the guy says, I'm looking for a hotel, my hotel, and I need to find out where it is. And she goes, oh, where's your hotel? So he tells her. She goes, oh yeah, you're soon. And she goes, does that hotel have a swimming pool? Because maybe I will come and swim with you. And I went, oh God. Perish the thought. So the guy's like laughing, but he's kind of into her. And he's like, oh, can I have your line? And he's like, give me your phone number. And she's like, oh, my battery is dead. So she's full of shit. Her battery, there's no way in hell. That broad, her, she took the big long fingernails to scratch her nuts with. She's a straight up hoe. And this guy, I wanted to tell the guy, dude, wake up. But, of course I shut my mouth. Business is business. I'm not getting in the way. It's none of MYOB, mind your own business. So the guy's like, oh, line account. So she tells him her line account, and he writes it down in the phone. He saves it, and then he's got to get off. He gets off. Immediately, she starts hitting on me. And she said, and I told my wife about this already. She says, where are you going, sir? I said, Pattaya. Yeah, Pattaya Tinai. I said, I don't know. Because I don't, like to me, it's like, I understand when they're being friendly. Oh, are you married? You've been here a long time? Or that. Okay, I understand that. But she's just a straight up hoe. She's gauging me. And I don't feel like talking to this bitch. Honestly, I'm like sitting there going, I don't feel like talking to this fucking, I don't feel like talking to her. I don't want to call her names. God forbid I shame her. So she says, yeah, I tell you what, I have good massage parlor. You come, I give you good massage. You're very happy. I said, why would I do that? Because I give good massage. I said, yeah, that's not going to happen, honey. Exactly like that. That's not going to happen, honey. So she said, why not? I said, well, a couple reasons. First, I don't want to. I don't want a massage. Second, my wife wouldn't like it. My wife could give me a very good massage, better than you, I'm sure. And, I just don't want to. Oh, I think maybe you bring your wife. Where your wife now? Why your wife not with you? And I'm thinking, get me the fuck off of this fucking Songtao. This is what I mean. This is one thing I don't like. I don't like it. I don't give a shit if she was hot as hell. She could have looked like fucking Elle McPherson. Or what's that other one? What's the one with Tom Brady? Gisele Bündchen. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have been like, just 2 minutes ago, you're practically swallowing this guy's jizz, and now you want to be with me. Oh, yeah. All right. I'll tell you what, you're a hard worker, honey. So, I'm like pushing her off. I'm like going, no. Finally, she says, okay, I have to go. And then she goes, you are not friendly. I said, I know. I'm not friendly to you. Because I don't give you what you want. And I don't give a fuck. I didn't say that. I just said, I know I'm not friendly. I like it that way. She gets off. And then the old lady on the bus sitting across from me starts shaking her head. And she didn't say anything because, that's not really the Thai way, but she just kind of went, like, son of a bitch, man. The chick would not let up. So that was my experience on the Songtao. And then I'm walking around with my buddy. I would have fucking Amber Heard. I would have fucking put my foot up her ass. Amber Heard. Hey, man, you know what I always say? And this is the truth. And it's the truth with guys, too. The chick is so sweet. She's so wonderful. My darling, I'm going to... Listen, honey, would you like a drink? Would you like a beer? Would you like to put it on my head? Would you like some head? What would you like, sweetie pie? Then once she sets that hook, once Amber set the hook, Johnny was... He was harpooned. He wasn't getting away. He was in the boat. He was not getting away. She hit him over the head with the with the mallet. And now look at him. He's fucked. Unfortunately, in the beginning, they don't show their signs of craziness. They don't show the fact that they, they use that sweetness, that kindness, listen, Thai chicks do it. Chicks all over do it. It's not just Amber Heard. It's not just Thai chicks. It's not just American chicks. There's a lot of chicks like that. They use that little snapper. They use their good looks, and that's why I always say, I know sometimes I come off as a bit of a prick or as a hard ass, and it's not like I don't enjoy the look of a beautiful woman. I can appreciate that, but you really need to go, hey, once I bust a nut in her, what is she gonna do for me? How good is she gonna be in my life? Is she gonna be a sweetheart? Is she gonna make life better? Or is she gonna be a royal pain in my balls? Literally. Which is why you don't just marry some chick to get a visa in Thailand. Now, if you know them, hey, okay, I understand. But, you get to know them truly. If you don't know them, then, I met her on Tinder, I met her on Thai Friendly, and we've been talking for 2 months, and no, I've never been to Thailand, and I don't speak any Thai. No, I don't know. But she speaks English. Okay. And most of the time, that shit don't work. It's going to take some time. So, while I enjoy the beautiful weather, even though it was hot, while I enjoy looking at the view when I'm having a coffee, the beaches, they look good, whatever, they're okay in Pattaya, and I understand, there is a certain lifestyle there. It's not a place that I would want to live. If you want to just be some guy who's hanging out and doing your thing there, well then yeah, it could be for anybody. But if you're some guy who doesn't feel like being harassed by chicks, I was walking down the street with my buddy and this chick runs over and she's like, 300 baht, you'll give me 300 baht. I'm like, 300 baht for one? For what? I suck your dick. I'm like, honey, what the hell do I need that from you for? Oh my God. I'm walking down the street and I'm like, honey, I understand it's Pattaya, it's Thailand, it's Sin City, but how appealing is it when some nasty kind of tattooed slut runs up to you and just goes, 300 baht, I'll give you a blowjob. I was like, holy shit, man. I was like, what'd you say? So, it takes a special kind of person to want to live there and to appreciate it. And, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. I want to be left. I'm not somebody who likes to have people coming up to me, yapping to me all the time. I'm one of these guys who, I just want to be left the fuck alone. If I want to talk to you, we can talk. And I don't have a problem being friendly. But when I got some freaking oversized elephant with titties the size of my head hitting on me, begging me to go to her massage parlor. Oh, come on, man. You got to have a little class. You got to carry yourself with a little standing. It's like it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're walking home from the bar at Beach Road and some nasty toothless slut says, hey, can I give you a Hummer? And you're like, oh, gladly. Okay, honey. Yeah, I think that there are some places that are okay there, and it really depends on where you are. But I think that the majority of it, yeah, it's a shithole, man. And if you remember that you're there for one reason. And I'll tell you what, there are some good restaurants, cheap restaurants. I understand the allure. But it's just, I just can't see it being a place that I would want to live unless I'm living somewhere like on the dark side or somewhere where there's, I'm not around all the, hey, where you come from? Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I spent 159 on a 59 baht on a Taco Bell burrito, and I'm like, you know what? That's far more satisfying than anything else. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's much different from being down in the heart there. But it's actually pretty busy. It's getting busy again. I should move outside. Let me do that. This place is packed. All right, let me see if I can move out here. I want to sit outside. I feel like I got people listening to me. Let's see here. Look at this. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's been a while since there's been this many people here. I mean, there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, including me. Unfortunately, I believe, I don't know, but I believe that the female barista are working the afternoon shift because you got 2 guys here and that's it. If that chick followed me, man, I don't know. I'd have to do something bad to her. What is this? All right, let me get set up here a little bit better. No. Listen, the renegade, Andrew, you got to be shitting me. Really. What the fuck do I look like? No offense, but I mean, why would I do that? What am I? And why would I do this? I would spend all my time to help your woman for what? So I'm a nice guy? I'm not a nice guy, okay? I'm an asshole. They're brought up from a young age they are brought up to understand that they are in a position where, in most cases, they will be serving the man, especially when they're young, and that they can use their feminine wiles and their whining and why, oi, oi, why you do that to me? Oh, I hate that shit. First thing I told my kids, if some chick starts whining like that to you, you tell her to shut the fuck up. I didn't tell them to use the F word, but I said, tell them, don't be playing that shit with me. Because that it's just ridiculous. It's like, grow the hell up. I know you're just asking, but the fact that you would ask me tells me something. You don't respect my time. Seriously. Why would I help your girlfriend? What am I? People want me to set them up with chicks. They want me to find them a girl. They want me to vet their girl. They want me to find their girl a job. Jesus fucking Christ. Got my own shit to do. No offense. Like what skills does a chick have? If she's got skills, she should be able to find a job. It's, if she's not that old, she should be able to find a job. If she's an old woman, she's going to have a hard time. Once they get to be about 45, 50 years old, it's tough. Yeah, how about I do that for you, Soy Dog Cowboy? I'm a nice guy, buddy. Now, for you, if you were over at my pad and my old lady, was like at the house putting up a spread, I'm sure she would have some mango and sticky rice, and she would put it out on a plate and go, okay, Mr. Longhorns knows that. She goes overboard. I tell her, don't be getting anything. She goes out and spends fucking 5,000, 10,000 baht sometimes, or whatever the hell it was she spent at one time. I don't remember. But she'll go out and I'll be like, why did you do that? We got food. She wants to be a little hostess, So. I mean, Renegade, first of all, my girl, I got to give you some shit, man. You need some shit. You need to get your woman in line if she's your woman. First of all, if you're going to get married to her, find a job for her when you come here and you're married, if it's that bad. And you're not going to be able to do it. You can't find her a job. Neither can I. I'm a foreigner. I'm not giving her a job. I don't know. I was in one for National Geographic. I was in a movie, an actual movie once, and then there was another one that never came out. And then I was in a Dutch movie, but it was a student movie. Yeah, she goes over the top. How long you been here, Carl? I mean, if my wife said, Scott, can you find me a job? I'd like, why don't you find me one? You find me a good job, I'd be happy to work it, But like for her to go out and find a job, for a female Thai to find a job, she's on her own. Fucking ain't no foreigner's gonna find her a job unless she owns a restaurant or some shit like that, and that ain't me. And not only that, like I said, and I hate to, belabor the point, what the fuck do I look like? Jesus Christ, I spend my time doing this shit. Look, you know what? Have I got any super chats today? No. But I got people that do super chat and do contribute monthly and stuff like that. So that's why I do this. I do it for them. I don't do it for people who don't contribute. Really. Sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings. But, I do it because I feel some people get something out of it. And some people don't, just like with the chowderhead shit. Some people never learn. That shit rubs me the wrong way, man. Well, will you show me around Thailand? Will you show me around Thailand? Well, fuck, Let's come up with the 5-hour plan, the 10-hour plan. I mean, I've already done this many times. My rate is reasonable. It's 2,000 baht an hour. plus expenses. Fucking A. And I can tell you that when it comes to finding somebody a job, 2,000 baht an hour, 10,000 baht an hour or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to find them a job. I'm not Thai. I mean, you know, Andrew, if you're still in here, why don't you say, like, hey, she can do this. She's graduated from university with a degree in this. This is what I'd like, maybe she would like to do. What qualifications does she have? If she doesn't have any education, then she's fucked. She's going to be doing something like, she'll be lucky to work as a waitress in some places. And now is not a good time to be looking for work. I don't know, you know, in the United States, I got to tell you, I've been looking at my audience, and when my audience, YouTube will tell you when's the best time to post a video, when's the best time to live stream, when do most people watch. And I can tell you that up until about 2 months ago, every single day, you could be from about 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, and also between about 9 to 11 at night, people were online. It will tell you this is when most of your people are watching. Not your stuff, but just on YouTube. Now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday through Thursday. There's very few people watching. There's not as many people as before, and I can only attribute that to people are working now. They're going back to work. They got shit to do. I've said this before. YouTube is not the end all to life. It's not reality. The reality is when you come and meet me, I am who I am. I'm the same way I am. You know, this is me. I can't change myself. Other than that, you know, get real. And the culture does affect people after, you know, a certain amount of time. I've said it before, I catch myself sometimes thinking in Thai, and I'm like, how am I supposed to say that in English? I don't remember how to say shit in English sometimes. And also, well, there she is. There's Miss Beer. And also, I just don't think the same way. I don't think the same way anymore. I mean, you know, I think some of it is because I'm older, but some of it also is because I'm here in Thailand. She was working in an office for airline ticketing. She's looking for that work, some college education. Well, think about this, and I hate to, you know, be honest with you about this, but right now is not the greatest time for anybody involved in any kind of work having to do with tourism. And if she's only got some college education, she's behind the 8 ball. That's all right, Andy. I know you're a part of the anti-chowderhead brigade. I'm gonna make a shirt that says anti-chowderhead brigade, and another that says, "Good morning, Miss Beer." Yes? Oh, okay. You see that? She's working upstairs now. So they moved her up to the 4th floor. Gennara's going to work at Pet Mart. Gennara, just because of the what's the word I'm looking for? From your excitement about Pet Mart, I think you'd probably be able to get a job there. But really, I mean, you think about it. Now is not the best time. She's going to have to probably hang in there a little bit, or she's not looking hard enough, or it's just, you know, sometimes it's luck. I mean, that's just the plain truth. And I remember you saying that you sent her some money. Well, guess what? It works both ways, you know, and there might be a time when you get yourself in a bind and she needs to come bail your ass out, or she needs to come help you with something. So, you know, I guess it depends on how much money the chick needs, but if you're really gonna marry her, well then get used to it, you know? Boy, this place is busy today. What's today, Tuesday? The whole inside is full. And now the outside has numerous people around. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Somehow I think he has other owners. You better make him a good offer. Chinese women are the same. They use annoying and irritating attitudes to survive in a chauvinistic society. Fail to realize that these attitudes don't work with anyone else. Yeah, I mean, it may work with the Chinese men. It may work with the Thai men, although I don't know that it works with the Thai men so much. I think the ones that are a little, they're not so alpha, they're a little bit feminine, it doesn't work with them. I can tell you, my wife doesn't do that shit. She does it with the kids once in a while, and they just go, ugh. You know, don't you feel sorry for me? Come give me a massage. That kind of stuff. I'll be like, hey, why don't you give me a massage? You know, it's like once in a while, okay, but like every day, what am I? You know? Come on. But no, she's pretty good though, but I mean, there are some that are just horrible. They think they're gonna get away with it. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Listen, I don't give a shit. And you know, it's taken me a long time to get to this point. And obviously I'm married, so, you know, things are much different. But even before I got married, I got to the point where I was like, listen, honey, I don't want to hear you whining. Oh, you know, Papa, he's so sick. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do. Really? I don't know what you're going to do either. And there's my old saying that I fall back on. She was fine before she met you. She'll be fine after you're gone. That's how it works. So there you go. All right, let me look at some of these things here. COVID not yet endemic. They're not willing to call it endemic yet, which is a damn shame. The kingdom is still at risk of fresh outbreaks. Well, isn't every place at risk for fresh outbreaks? Thailand cannot yet declare COVID-19 as an endemic disease as the country is still at risk of a fresh wave being triggered. Dr. Prasit Watanapa, Dean of Mahidol University's Faculty of Medicine, warned on Monday. About 2 years into the pandemic, everyone wants to see the end of the spread of the virus, but the disease cannot be declared endemic, he said. The virus can still trigger a new outbreak, and the country must still vaccinate people to reduce severe cases and deaths. Several countries are battling infections. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that Thailand is. He said that more than 2 million Thais are not vaccinated and 10% have received only 1 dose. All right, well, let's see how many have gotten 3 doses. What is it, World Meter or some shit like that? I haven't looked at it in so long because I just don't give a shit anymore. Sorry to have that attitude, but that's the truth. Is this Thailand? Well, let's find Thailand. Thailand, number 24. Oh, I wanted to see how many Thais have been vaccinated. I forget the name of the website. I can't ever remember anymore. Vaccinations, statistics, yada, yada, yada. COVID Live, that's what it was. COVIDvax.live. Okay, what is this? 130, oh, it's not telling you how many, it's telling you. Okay, it looks like in 7 days, an extra 90,000 people were vaccinated. It says 80% of the people have been vaccinated at least once. 72.79% have been completely vaccinated. I find that hard to believe. That's like 73%. It was like 73% like 6 months ago. There is a vaccine administered at the rate of about every 1.55 seconds, or 133,749 each day. So there you go. What happened to everything will be okay when you hit 70%? What happened? I want to know. You know what I really care about? You know what I really care about? I care about not wearing a mask. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't mean to be too hard on you, but I want to be honest. And sometimes it don't sink in with people. If you talk to some of the people that I talk to, you know exactly why I am the way I am. Just remember the guy who came in, I can't even remember his name at the moment. Gennaro, I know you know who I'm talking about. The guy who came in to Starbucks and was telling me about his girl, that he was giving her like 80,000 baht a month. And she didn't even want to see the guy. She didn't want to be with him. She wasn't boning him. She wasn't doing nothing. And the guy wouldn't listen. And that's what I deal with all the time. Choke knee to you, the renegade. Thank you. You are, I believe, the first of the day. Out of context, because all the people that got COVID after being vaccinated is the same. Yeah, there you go. So there's even more people that are protected. My niece, her husband, and their daughter traveled to Mahasa to come to visit paternal grandparents. Husband tested positive, and niece and her daughter are being held in quarantine. 14 days quarantine. That sounds strange to me. That's really strange. That must be a regional kind of thing, because if that shit happened here, they'd be like, I mean, look at what happened with Nicholas. Nicholas didn't even report it. He just goes, fuck this, man. I'm not that's what I told him. I said, don't be reporting this shit. Yeah, it's the local rules. That's the thing. But I was like, don't report this shit to anybody. Well, for what? What do you got to report it for? You got it. You don't have any serious symptoms, and it's not getting more serious. What are you going to report it to anybody for? Fuck that. I hate to act this way and get a little nasty about it, but when it comes to this, get rid of the masks, drop all this bullshit about the Thailand pass, and that's it. End of story. I got to tell you, my wife has to go somewhere, I believe next month, and she has to leave the country. And there's a chance I'll go with her, but probably not, because she got stuff to do, and I don't know if I feel like going through the whole rigmarole. Now, she's supposed to return in June, in the first week of June, so who knows what's going to happen when they make the changes. There you go. There's your, well, she's not there now. Well, why would you give her 80,000 even if she is your wife? For what? I mean, when my wife was first pregnant with Nicholas and we had Alex, she got an allowance, and that money was for the bills for her spending and stuff like that, and that was about 60,000. But out of that, the bills were like 45,000, 50,000. And she made her own money as well, so, Here she goes again. Bye. See you later. Went in to see the doctor for a physical prior to obtaining health insurance. Get into the doctor's office, and he wasn't wearing a mask. I'm telling you, yesterday, there were lots of people walking around, no mask on, Thai and foreigner, no mask on. So, Well, Daniel, if I had all the answers and could change some of the things that seem so ludicrous, I would, but I don't. And quite frankly, you know, I was thinking about something yesterday. I'm like, man, why am I so... I'm not really antisocial. But I don't particularly like being around a lot of people. I mean, when I was in that CASHAPP the other day, I was like, holy shit, get me out of here. And then I'm thinking, oh, I need to go back to the original CASHAPP, the CASHAPP everybody knows about. JJ Market there. I need to go and see what it's like. How is it better now? Because I went a couple of months ago and it was still shit, but it was a little bit better. And my wife went there the other day, and I'm like, okay, so it's a little busier, Well, I find that a little bit hard to believe. You're almost beaten with a stick. That's so, I mean, if you were mouthing off, maybe, but if you weren't mouthing off, I kind of, I don't know. Where would I live? I'd probably camp out on a beach somewhere. Thailand doesn't have traffic cops. They don't care about enforcement. They give out videos, give it tickets by videos. Where in northern Thailand were you? Don't just say northern Thailand. Give me the city, man. Immigration lady refused to wear a mask. She said that well, so what the... I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. Well, what do you think then? Fucking idiot. You're a chowderhead. You're either a chowderhead or you're a troll. One or the other. Make your choice. What is it? Chowderhead? Troll. Well, he probably didn't get his goons to come over because you weren't wearing a mask, you fucking idiot. I gotta ban you for being stupid. When you tell somebody, fuck you, especially in Thailand, you're asking for a beating. I wish he would have gave you a beating. Well, then, I mean, you can't... Okay, but why do you have to say fuck you? Why would you do that? You're just stupid, man. You're being stupid, okay? Or you were being stupid. Don't be an idiot. That's the one rule in Thailand. Be polite and don't be a fucking moron. Don't be a chowderhead. Graduate from that university. It's not even about the F-bomb. You can use the F word. Don't use it directed at somebody unless you feel like getting into a brawl. And with taxi drivers, you better be prepared. You better be prepared to fight. Simple as that. Well, that's a pretty good reason. Maybe you learned your lesson then. Maybe you're not that stupid after all. I mean, listen, I can tell you that there are people out there, and I'm not saying I'm one of them, but there are people out there that if you say fuck you to them, they're going to punch you in the face, or they're going to knock you out. Whatever happened to that guy? I thought he took a beating from somebody because he was being from a motorcycle driver or something. I haven't seen any with knives. I've seen them with machetes. I've seen them with crowbars. But most of the time, if they start to go towards the back of if they start to reach for something, you better do something. Since it is common knowledge that none of the vaccines prevent infection or transmission, but drop the BS vaccine. Yeah, no, I understand it, man. I mean, what's the point of wearing a mask if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, why wear the mask? And you're already vaccinated. So what's the point? I'm vaccinated. I'm wearing a freaking mask that is covered in sweat from walking around outside where there's nobody around me. And yet I'm supposed to wear this thing all the time. No. Believe me, I took it off. I was walking around Pattaya just like many other people, no mask on. Go ahead, rat me out. I don't care. Go ahead. Go ahead, do it. I wasn't wearing a mask. There's nobody around me. I go into a place. Listen, I went in to a place and, you know, some people wearing masks. I put my mask on. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to start any shit. I don't want to make any problems. But most of the time, you know, nobody's gonna bother you about that. But you know, he didn't go after you. I don't know how much you know. I really don't know if you're a troll or you're just a knucklehead, chowderhead. But like, why would you tell? You don't know shit about Thailand if you're just telling some guy to fuck off right away. If you're gonna say fuck off, do it under your breath, walking away like some pussy. And I understand that's an easy way to say it. Vent, and you don't have to get into a big ordeal with people. Dude, don't go to the Philippines. They'll beat you up. They're gonna beat you up. They're gonna kick your ass. You tell one of them to fuck off, they're probably gonna give you a beating. And I'm serious, they will. They'll give you a beating. Ugh. Thailand is not the land of smiles. It is the land of chowderheads. Would you agree? Thailand, land of chowderheads. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, you know what? I mean, the other day when I was in, what the hell, Pak Meng, and I said to the old lady, I was like, the old lady was being a bitch. She wasn't a nice person. And I'm walking away and I'm mumbling, fuck her. Okay, I wasn't directing it at her. If I would have walked up to her and went, hey, you fucking twat, she probably would have went over, got some people, they would have come over and they would have attacked me or they would have done something to me. That's how it works. Oh my God, how old are you, dude? 14? Are you old enough to be in this stream? You know what? Here's my mask. Oops, it's broken. I'm so sorry. No, really, Aziz, how old are you? Because you strike me as vaguely familiar in your chowderheadedness, extreme chowderheadedness. And where are you from? What's your age? What are you doing in Thailand? Where are you now? And how bad of a beating did you get? You're 26. Well, that explains a little bit. All right, I'm going to say you're full of shit. I'm going to say Aziz is full of shit, and he's banned. Goodbye. I don't want to talk to this asshole anymore. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you. You're blocked. Fuck off. I'll tell you why. What's the chance that some guy coming in acting like that, what's the chance that he created his channel today, right now? Oh, he created it because he wants to come in and talk to Scott Mallon? Well, maybe, but it ain't because he wants to blab about how he got his ass kicked. So he's a fucking troll. And if he's not a troll, he's a dumb motherfucker. Excuse me. I don't want to call anybody stupid, but he's stupid. I work out at the municipal track every morning. Nobody is wearing a mask there. Well, technically, if you're exercising, you're not supposed to wear a mask. You're not required to wear a mask, although I have seen instances where it's stated, oh, you should wear a mask even in the park. I'm like, no, I'm not at the line now. Go ahead, take me to jail. Take me to jail along with all the other people in the park that aren't wearing a mask. There you go. Gennaro, that's for you. Have you tried the nitro cold brew yet? No, I have not, Gennaro. I have not. I don't know. I think they do have it. They do have it. I don't know how much it is. And I don't usually drink that, but oh God. All right, that's worth 10,000 right there. Every hottie alert is worth 10,000 baht. Oh my God. I was talking to somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was. I don't think so. I don't remember who it was that I was talking to, but yeah, pass on the Budweiser. I haven't had a Budweiser in about 40 years. Yeah, I can't tell anything anyway, and what does it matter? It doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. Maybe that's the one that was, no, that's a different one. But what we were talking about is that, and I know I've said this before, but you know, a lot of you guys are looking to come here. A few of you live here or come here part-time or used to come here part-time before the Chinese virus. But I'm here every day, man. It's like I'm in Southern California where I was living before, or South Florida where I was living before, and I'm there every single day, every day. And every once in a while I go, you know, to Orlando, or I go to, you know, the Keys or somewhere like that. If I'm in California, you know, maybe I go from Newport to some other area in California. Maybe I go to Napa Valley or whatever. It's the same thing here. I mean, I'm closing in on 28 years. You know, I take this shit for granted. And I know I shouldn't. Who was it that was telling me we take the food for granted, we take the weather for granted a little bit, and I know a lot of guys take the women for granted. You know, yeah, okay, there's some cute women here, they're sweet, they're, you know, they can be sweet. The same every day. You know, even the girls that work here, when they're working here, you know, they, oh, how are you today? I'm same as always. Every day I'm the same. I mean, I might be a little bit blue, I might be tired, I mean, but you know, most of the time it's good morning, Mr. Barrett. Hello, Barrett. So not to, you know, drone on about this, but I mean, you know, like, you think about it. Gennaro, how long you lived in LA there? How many years have you been there in LA? You probably take a little trip here and there once in a while, and you're like, oh yeah, it's nice to get out and take a little stay vacation or staycation or whatever it's called. You know, to me that's Chumpon. That's where did I just come back from? Oh, Surat, you know, Trang. the same thing. Born and raised in LA. So LA must be just like it is to me, for you. Lots of people. This place is packed. The inside is not technically even supposed to be open until 10 o'clock, and it's all open. And if you look over here, most of the chairs there are full. Most of the chairs there behind me. Man, I've been in Singapore for, I think it was 3 weeks. And I was staying in a nice place. I was staying at the Conrad Hotel. I had a suite with I don't know, it wasn't 180, but it was like a 90-degree view. It was like one side and then the other. I mean, beautiful. I got, free breakfast every morning delivered to me. I mean, it was great. And I was bored out of my head, man. After a couple of days, I was like, I'm bored. And I was working, so. Be polite and avoid conflict unless it's absolutely essential to protect yourself. Yeah, I would say that now far more people are sick and tired of this shit. What's going on? And it's not just here, it's everywhere in the world. People are tired of it. And they're like, okay, if it's that bad, why do I not see my neighbor keeling over? Why is everybody not keeling over? I mean, Nicholas had it, and it was like, and I'm sure I've had it already. I don't know, but I would not want to be in San Francisco. I've been there twice. And it was, I went and visited my parents there. I met my parents there once. And we're in a taxi or something, and, this is 30 years ago. 34 years ago, something like that. And I'm there with my girlfriend at the time, with her, and they're there. We're driving around, and, we see these two guys similar to Chuck, to his persuasion, if you will, making out with each other. And we're like, yeah. And it wasn't like it is now where people are like, oh, okay, well, don't say anything. No, we were like, oh, shit. Wow. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was a bit strange to us, It was like the first thing that we saw when we went out. Here in LA, there are neighborhoods that aren't safe to drive through. You can be shot and have your car stolen for nothing. Not choosing necessarily now. Before they weren't allowed to congregate as people. Not choosing necessarily now. Before they weren't allowed to congregate as well. Yeah, they weren't allowed to congregate, but I mean, you can't really say being in a restaurant is congregating. I mean, they did cut it down originally to 25%. And if you remember, I did a video a long time ago, 2 years ago or so, where me, Nicholas, my wife, Bo, and myself were sitting in a Fuji. We all had our own table. They wouldn't let us, even two of us, sit together at a table. And, God, that sucked, man. And then it was like 50%, and now, I don't know, I don't think there's any, I think there is no, you can't sit here, you can't sit there. I will say this, though. I went into my Bangkok bank. I have to put a photo of this up. And they had the plastic shield up. All the people had their mask on. And they had a rope that extended out about 3 feet, and it said, 2 feet. It said, this rope is up for your protection because of the COVID virus. So in other words, you couldn't even get close enough to them. You had to extend your arm to give them whatever you wanted to give them, to get your money, to take your money, whatever it was. You couldn't even stand right up against the plexiglass or anything like that. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I stayed in the Marina Bay Sands Hotel once, cost $500 a night. It was an off-experience suite on the 32nd floor. Yeah, the last time that I went there, the time that I'm referring to when I went there was before before the casinos were finished. So it's been a while. Got to go to the raffles, man. And watch the movie, Longhorns knows the name of it, Saint Jack. When my visa allows travel and these places are open, I want to visit Singapore. What do you mean when your visa allows travel? What does that mean? But he ain't no saint, yeah. I don't know, dude. I mean, I guess. And I knew a guy who lived there, British guy, British friend of mine. He was a good friend of mine, and we went out there and we went and partied together. We had fun when we were there. But he ended up moving back to the UK because he was like, yeah, I can do well here financially, but I'd rather just be back in the UK because he was bored. Singapore is pretty open now. Yeah, I don't understand what you mean about the visa. When my visa allows travel. Because all there is to do there is shop. I mean, and shop and eat. I mean, you can do it here, but the people, in my opinion, are not as friendly as they are here. You hear that? The coffee here is more expensive than in Australia. They gave me a 90-day O visa. I go back in 90 days to convert it to an annual visa. I thought it was unusual. No, it's not. But other Farangs here had to do the same thing. It's not a multiple entry yet. Well, if you really wanted to leave, if you needed to leave, you could always leave, get a re-entry permit at the airport, and then when you come back in, the visa starts up again. You just have to be back in before the end of the 90 days when the visa ends. Singapore's a shithole since St. Jack died. Hong Kong more appealing to live long term? Oof, no. In my opinion, no. But what do I know? I never lived there. I just visited and, did my thing there. I think it has changed. I think the mentality has changed. What about the 4 Floors of Horrors? What about Orchard Towers? What about Geylang? I mean, it's still expensive, but it's cheaper than. I mean, it is a somewhat similar. Go into, what is the name of that place? I can't remember the name of it. There was a place that I went with my buddies for a couple times. Really not the same anymore. Well, it was Ipanema. That was the name of it. Ipanema. They had the disco with a live band, and then you went next door, there was another live band, and then it was like a go-go bar. But I mean, the prices compared to here are like quadruple. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere that has Chinese influence anymore. What is with the music, man? Jesus Christ. It's not even 11 and they're open up now. Who looks like Heather Graham? Somehow I doubt it. All right, what is this? Tourism Council of Thailand said the Thailand pass scheme should be scrapped from June 1st to gain an additional 2 million tourists from tour groups and help the country to achieve 10 million tourist arrivals this year. If the Thailand pass system is revoked by June, the country will definitely gain 10 million arrivals this year. I don't know about that. The number of tourists might even reach 12 million under the best cost scenario, in which the Chinese market would be able to resume outbound trips by the end of the year. Man, please help. Please help me get out of Bangkok. Please. I want to get the fuck out of here, man. Sorry. Excuse my French. All right, take it easy, Zach. You know, wash your hands, wear your mask. Don't forget to wear your mask. Say goodbye to Heather. I gotta get out of here. I'm serious, because I'll tell you what, I'm not, and my wife, she's starting to get it, but she's still a little, why would I go to live in Chiang Mai? I keep telling her, why do I want to go live in Chiang Mai? There's too many freaking foreigners there, and I don't want to have to deal with the Chinese. The Chinese, the Indians, the Americans, I don't want to deal with any of them. Just give me a little bungalow. That's all I need. Just let me get out of here. I want to get out of here.
In the shopping mall and Starbucks.
She's putting on some smell good. Oh. She's waiting for you, Fire Dude. If you want to help me get to whatever island it is or whatever coastal area, go over to AnAmericanInBangkok.com. Get yourself a hat. Get yourself a mug. Get yourself a t-shirt. Whatever. You can help me out that way. Because I want to get the fungulo out of here. Every dollar brings me that much closer. Bali sounds good. I love Bali.
She said you look handsome, but I think because you're at mask.
This guy's funny. A bungalow and a buffalo. No, a bungalow and some fresh fruit. Many of the businesses here do not want Chinese tourists. The Chinese tour leaders take them to Chinese. Yeah, we know that, Jim. You can't win with the Chinese here, and they're some of them are irritating. Yeah, I know where it is. I know where you are. I know the area, and I like that kind of area. But I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something that I gotta find. And Prajuap, it's not the same as it used to be. Hua Hin, not the same. Cha'am, Chumpon, no thank you. No sand fleas for me. And Surat's a bit far south. So now I'm starting to think more towards Phuket. on the coast, but you know, I'm not sure about. God, that music is so fucking irritating. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna let you guys hear it. You guys can listen. Free of charge. We want to go to Florida. We want to go back to Florida, but we checked the prices just this morning, and the prices are like 38,000 baht for a ticket. It's crazy. Oh, Khao Yai. I want to go towards a beach. I don't want to go over there. I'm thinking Krabi, Khao Lak, somewhere on the coast. It can be either side, but
Just blame everything on COVID.
finally it stopped. I mean, that music was, it's like, Jesus Christ, you're trying to burst my eardrums? And this is the thing. It's, let me just compare it. When you go on the canal boat where they use the diesel engine and you're standing right next to the engine, it's loud. And then you go over to the electric boat, the solar powered boat, and it's so quiet and peaceful. You know, you never want to go back on the other boat. Well, that's because this music is not playing now. Koh Samui, I mean, there's some nice places, but it's an island. It's going to be more expensive. There is nowhere to sit in this place almost. There's almost no place to sit. That's unbelievable. Bang San, no way. Bang San is inferior, man. I mean, when it comes to nice areas, it's okay. Well, listen to this. I never get used to it. Hear this? This is how it is every morning when they open up. I don't miss that. You know what gets me is that their greeting when you come into 7-Eleven, and they don't even, it's like they're like robots. They're like robots when you come in. They don't even know what they're saying. I mean, you know, listen, set your sights high. Go for the 10. Go for the beach that's a 10. And if you get a 7, then you're doing good. We've had the trucks come by lately, but I'll tell you what, they've been useful, because one truck came by and it was mangoes, 4 kilos for 100 baht, which is kind of a norm. Sometimes a little cheaper, some for green ones, sometimes a little more expensive. And then the next day I got some watermelons. I got 3 watermelon for, what was it? How much did I spend on it? 60 baht? 3 watermelon for 60 baht. So that's you know, it comes in handy then. But this shit doesn't. I mean, it doesn't come in handy at all. Anyway, what are you gonna do? You know, you could be out in the middle of nowhere and it's still gonna happen. unless you're out in the middle of the jungle. And then you're not going to have people coming by. You're going to have to go and pick the stuff yourself. Let's see here. Are you disappointed when you overhear other people speaking English around you? No, disappointed is not the right word. It's expected. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm the only foreigner in the whole country. Now, if I was out in the jungle and, you know, I'm around a dozen Thais, and then all of a sudden I start hearing some foreigner speaking English, now that would be a little bit frustrating. That'd be irritating. Why is this not? The problem with the music is that it is usually shitty Western songs. Yes, that's true. See, the thing is that the Thai chicks don't want to sit at Starbucks for hours. So she just got up, dragged the guy away. He's gone now. No more English right next to me. Pattaya would not even be a decision for me, Andy. It's not even in the... I don't care if I lived outside of the whore zones or anything like that. I just won't live there. I just won't. Which, you know, I think that's a good way to be, where you just kind of, you slowly get to know somebody. There are guys that have been coming to this Starbucks for a year or two, and, you know, we might go, hey, what's up, you know? But we don't talk for a year, 2 years. We don't even really get into a long conversation. And a lot of the guys, I haven't seen them in a while now. You know, the guys used to come all the time, but now, not so much. I know some of them probably went back. 2 of them were from the UK. I think they went back. But yeah, I wouldn't even consider Pattaya as a place to live. Not with my wife and, you know, have my kids come and visit or stay with us or something like that. No way, man. Maybe, but I don't think so. I'd rather be on the other side, to be honest. So, I mean, this is something that whenever I'm like, I start getting tired, I start going, all right, I've been editing enough, I've been working on my website enough, I've been doing whatever it is. And I go, I don't feel like doing anything else. Then what I'll usually do is I'll usually watch a little TV. I got my computer out, and I'll start looking at a map, and I'll start working my way around and start going, what about this place? What about that place? What about this place? What about that place? And I start thinking about, is this an easy place to get back to Bangkok? Can you fly out of here? What's the deal? You know, so there are a lot of places to choose from. But I'm a picky bastard when it comes to where I want to be, where I want to live. No sand fleas allowed. And quite frankly, you know, Chumpon, it's a nice area. The people are very nice. But it's... You know how you get the vibe. It's the vibe. You feel the vibe, and you know you get a certain vibe from the place, and you go, "Wow, man, When I first came to Thailand and I finally went over to Nana Plaza during the daytime, and it was absolutely popping at like, 11 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my God, wow. And here I am sweating, and some girl walks up and puts a cool cloth on my head and starts patting me down, and then I buy her a drink and she sits down. I'm like, hey, this place is all right, man. It's like, or, you go to a beach and like the one beach, CASHAPP, that I went to, and also in Riley, I went, and even though I was alone, I'm like, all right, let me have a couple of mojitos. And the mojitos are fabulous, and the view is fabulous, and I'm like, man, I like this place. But the problem with CASHAPP is I think most people would end up being bored out of their heads. You can be into photography, you can be into, I don't know, you can play bocce ball, you can do whatever the hell you want. Eventually, though, I think you're gonna need some other things to do. And I didn't see any malls or anything like that. So where are you gonna go to the movies if you want to go to the movies? I would not go over in that area, Jim. If I was, I would go to Koh Samet or Koh Chang or somewhere like that. I mean, Koh Chang is a nice place, but I wouldn't want to live there. And the last couple of times I've been there have not been many people there. It's been great. But once things open up again, there's going to be tons of people. So, what's the point? What's the point of going? Hey there, Dowlo. It's okay to go there once in a while, but as a place to, like, go there and stay for a couple of months or whatever, no. Well, yeah, I understand. I like that area more, but quite frankly, to me, it's been done to death. Cha'am, Prajuap, Hua Hin, Chumphon, to a much lesser extent, Chumphon, but been done to death. Cha'am is out of all of those, Cha'am and Prajuap, I'd say, are at my top two. Hua Hin is not, and I was just there with Longhorns. I don't know how long ago it's been. It's been a while now. We were there, and it's okay, but I'd be bored within a couple of days. I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here. Listen, I'm here, and the thing is I know if I want, I can jump on the SkyTrain and go somewhere. If I want, I can, get a motorbike taxi, come here. If I want, I can go on the boat and go somewhere. I can go to Minbury now. I can go down to Khao San Road, that area. I can go all over, and it's very easy for me. I love that. However, I can also go down to Prajuap, just jump on a minivan or in a bus, and it's inexpensive. I prefer the Andaman area. Now, the one thing about the Koh Chang to the west, as opposed to the one on the east, is that you cannot stay there full time. And I don't think you'd want to, because there are people there that all they do for 3 months is read books, lay in a hammock, do yoga, whatever it might be. That's all they do. And after the 3 months, they leave. And the reason is because the water, the tide comes in, and you're not able to stay there because of the water. So, unfortunately, that's, and you would be bored out of your head. There is something called island fever, and that's why a coastal area, I think, is better. If you want to get away for the day, you just go over to, you want to get away for the day, you just jump on a boat and split. Khao Lak is a beautiful area. I really like it a lot. I don't know that there's anything to do there aside from drinking, eating, and hanging out on the beach. The waves there are certain areas where the waves are very good. I'm not into surfing at all anymore. Maybe you could do some boogie boarding or something like that, but you know, it's not, like I said, it's like you want to go to a movie, you're going to have to go to another city. It's going to be a while. You want to, you know, it's just a very small area. I mean, you know, I don't know. If I explored it a little more and I found it to be a little different than what I originally thought or think, then okay, yeah. But I mean, I do like the beaches. They're pretty nice. They're not fantastic. They're very good, but they're not like Kokut or even like some of the beaches in Phuket or something like that. They're close, but no cigar, and that's okay. You know, maybe I'm looking for perfection and I'll never find it. I don't know. Yeah, Panga, that whole area is very nice. And the good thing is that, yes, you can go to Phuket and then just fly right out of there. Although it's going to cost you. Every time you're going to go to the airport, come back, you know, it's going to be 1,000 baht, 1,500 baht, whatever. I don't remember what I paid the last time to go from Krabi to Phuket, but you're going to pay. You know, if you're going in that area, you're going to have to pay. And there's positives and negatives of every place. Enjoyed the spectacular Bangkok treasure video. Really like that museum. That's an old video. It is quite old. Actually, that, I think, Longhorns, didn't you meet us there or something? I think he met us there after we were coming out or something. I can't remember, but it's a place where you need to, you know, I think everybody should go to certain places at least once. If you're a man and you like if you even like any kind of combat sport at all, you need to go to Rajdamnern or Lumpini Stadium, or Omnoi or Channel 7 or something, but really Rajdamnern and Lumpini, you need to go there. This place, for cultural, for the heritage of Thailand, I would say go there. You know, there's certain places that you don't want to miss. Everybody should go to Pattaya once when there's no restrictions, so that you can determine for yourself whether you like it or not. It's pretty funny that. My wife shows me, she goes, oh, I got this free, what the hell is it called? Power bank. I said, oh, really? So she hands it to me. I gotta be careful how loud I speak. It's from Uranus Clinic. And this is what this girl who just walked up is from, this clinic. And I go, oh. And I go, don't you understand the comedy, the humor in the name of this particular clinic? She's like, no, I don't understand. I said, well, it's talking about your butthole. Anyway, that's what her shirt says. The one he just walked up. Oh my God. And it's hilarious. And I told my wife, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She didn't even know. I was like, "Don't you know? You know what an anus is, right?" Yeah. Okay. Well, we're talking about yours. I have to tell you that in looking for bum guns and bidet sprays, I found this company in the United States. It's called Tushy, Your Tushy or something, My Tushy or something like that. And on the front page of the website, there's this girl there's this girl with a t-shirt on it says, "Ask me about my butthole." I'm like, I gotta buy one of these shirts. Who walks around with a shirt that says, "Ask me about my butthole"? And the reason is because their company provides bidet sprays. And basically you take the bolts out from the back of the portion of the bowl where the seat comes up and down, and there's little bolts. You pull that up, you put down this thing, and it's got a little sprayer, and then you got to connect it up with the water and all that, and then you bolt it back down. But that's the name of it, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh man. What a shirt. Ask me about my butthole. I didn't realize the museum was built by the same guy. Yeah, that guy did a lot of. I think that thing was finished in 2003, but they put the elephant up in like 1997. The three-headed elephant. I finally graduated from Bum Gun 101. Well, you learn the appropriate pressure to administer. And if you don't learn, then you get a free enema. My God. Anyway, all right, well, oh man, we're over 2 hours now. Can you believe that? I've been to all of them at one point, and to be honest, I don't really want to go back. It's not that they're not interesting, but like my wife wanted to go to the ancient city the other day, about 2 weeks ago. She smells good. I can tell you that. I can smell her right now. It smells good. It's good perfume. But she wanted to go the other day, and I was like, why? How many times are we gonna go there? You know, wasn't it Longhorns and I just went there? We were just there. We were at the ancient city. So was Andy. So, all right, let me see if I got anything else here. Yeah, Bangkok to Miami, 37,175 baht. 40 hours and 30 minutes for that trip. 28 hours, Lufthansa. 28 hours and 50 minutes, 37,495. Take Lufthansa on another one, 2 stops. These are 2 stops. They're even more expensive, 39,000. That's round trip. Multiply that times 4. Quite a bit of money. Qatar. What is this? Oh, United and Air India, 2 stops. 25,870. I think I'll pass on that. Even to save the money. All right, we went over that. Went over that. According to the WHO, Thailand is getting safer. Their roads are getting safer, but ever so slowly. China. China was ranked at 8th place in terms of number of road accidents at 212,000. Country had the second highest number of deaths at 63,000 and 226,430 injured. Say hello. Say hello to my little friends. Hello. Goodbye. See you later. All right, there we go. That was for you, Gennaro, because I'm a nice guy, you know. Jump up and down for joy, click your heels. Hey, Barrett, thank you very much. Good luck, thank you. Appreciate that. Choke D to you. Long time no see. She looks nice today. Doesn't she look nice every day? And therein is the trap. She looks nice. Think about it. Think about it. She can be very nice, just like I can be very nice. You can be very nice, Gennaro, until you're not. Yeah, I like to watch the river life. And Chao Phraya is not my favorite river, just because it's not the most beautiful river. She looks nice with clothes on. Yeah, she sure does. I'm not gonna tell you otherwise. Can't tell you that. You know, if you want to go up to a place, if you decide to go to Nong Khai, there's a little, I can't remember the name of the guest house there. For the life of me, I can't remember it. I just know where it is. It's right on the river. It's been there forever. And I stayed there and I actually did a video. And I showed you guys the place. And it was, yeah, me, thank you. I went there, I've been there, whew. You know, I used to live in Udon Thani, so I would go to Nong Khai every so often just to go, and I would also go into Laos. This is many years ago, but I've been there to that Mutmi probably half a dozen times. And I went the last time, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, you get this place," and it was like 600 baht. It was a very nice little room. And but I like being there on the river, right there, having a nice coffee, and you're sitting there. I do like that spot. Now, that's not the Chao Phraya, but I like it there. Come on, Janelle's a player, man. Somehow I don't think so. I think all it takes is a little tequila. Tequila or a little whiskey, whatever, you know. I don't know. When I was a young man, that used to work for me. Because I started morphing into Brad Pitt in their eyes. Anyway. Oh my God. Yeah, Amber Heard, boy, she did a number on Johnny Depp. I'll tell you what, I really like to know what the truth is about whoever took a dump in his bed. If it was the dog or if it was her or her friend or whoever else. Ugh. What do you do? I mean, how do you get past that? You know, there are women who they don't ever want to wake up, or they don't ever want their husband or their boyfriend to wake up and see them without their makeup on. And there are also women who, and I understand this, they don't ever want you to see them sitting on the toilet. I don't know where that came from, but let me continue here. All right, the best beaches in Thailand. Riley Beach. They got this Riley Beach is number 1. Phra Nang in Krabi. Karan Beach, Kata. Now you can stay out in Kata, and it's nice. Kaulak. I have a feeling I should go to Kaulak and explore it a little bit more. Koh Lanta, which is Kantiang Beach. Koh Phi Phi, very touristy there. Koh Samui, very touristy there. Like 3 or 4 beaches in Koh Samui. Bottle Beach, which would be what? Hat Kuit, Koh Phangan. Let me see here. It is very popular with long-term travelers. Koh Chang, Bang Bao, Koh Samet. Haven't been to Koh Samet in years. Lots of places in Koh Samui, but man, it's touristy there. Anyway, as soon as we trade off the car for a new one, we will do a lot of traveling. Yeah, we have thought about getting a car for quite some time. And I always tell my wife, don't do it. Save the money. Not only because you got to drive, but because, you know, for me, okay, you want to get a car, you get a car and you don't drive it unless you need to. You know, that's my thing. I'd get a little truck and I'd be like, all right, we're not driving this thing. I'm not going to be driving the goddamn thing back and forth to the mall. You know, I'd rather just get a little motorcycle for something like that. And I don't really want to drive in Bangkok. Yeah. Oh, God. Gennaro, you never stop, do you? You are just a dirty, low-down scoundrel. Let me continue. All right, these are continuing ranking the best beach towns for working and living in Thailand. Phuket, Prachuap Khiri Khan. I don't know. I'd have to explore that place a little bit more than just staying at Maggie's. There she goes again. She's looking thin, man. Pattaya, no thank you. Koh Samui, I think there's just too many tourists. Hua Hin, no thank you. Pass. You're with Gennaro on what? What are you with Gennaro on? Imagination is a second section. What? Imagination is a sexy thing. Maybe you're right, Longhorns. I'm always right. Ugh. Now I sound like my wife. I'm with Gennaro. Gallo, we have a Honda City, but her son is using it. The Chevy SUV is a piece of shit. We want to buy another one. Huh? Having her turn around. I don't know. I don't give a shit. She wants to turn around, she can turn around. She don't want to, she don't have to. You know, it's kind of like she's wearing a mask and then she takes it off and you're like, You get scared. You don't know. You don't know what you're going to get, man. All right, here's 13. No, we already went over this. Yeah, we went over this. Smile Bungalow Bottle Beach, which would be Hat Kuit. Phangan, let's see here. How much is that going to cost? Let's see. Bottle Beach, check-in date. What's today? 26th of April. Let's say we're going to go around the 9th of May. We'll stay for, let's just say for a week. Wow, 7 nights. Oh, this is economy bungalow with fan. Don't they have aircon? If you're in Thailand, they call it aircon, or just air, Hong Air. Family bungalow with fan, superior bungalow with fan, standard bungalow with fan that has a balcony. Superior family room. All right, well, that's all right, though. But anyway, 2,240 baht for 7 days. That works out to about, what, 350 baht a night? That's pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. All right, now I just have to figure out how to get there, and I got to talk the wife into going. And we're there. Somehow I don't think so. I will tell you another little story in a second. Kanchanaburi, yeah, I like Kanchanaburi, but you know, it's not the beach, man. I like the beach. The chick with the fragrance is long gone. She smelled really good, she did. Andy, we stayed there for a week about 5 years ago. Back to painting. Yeah, that's it. Watching the paint. You can always paint, Andy. Yesterday, I'm on the bus. And so I get off the bus, and there is this, shall we say, very dark-skinned type. I thought it was a lady. Dark-skinned Thai lady. And so, you know, I'm sitting right next to her. You know, it got a little bit cool inside the bus. She takes her shirt off. She's got like one of those little tank tops that has the strings here. Long time no see from Monash. He's, I don't believe I saw him in the chat here since maybe Surat or Chumpon. I think he's probably just busy, but you know, some people actually have a life and they can't come into the stream. But anyway, she takes her little sweatshirt off, and she's got this little, what do they call them? Little string what the hell do they call them? Tank tops, little string tank top kind of thing. And immediately I noticed the nipples, because it was kind of cold. And I'm like, why is she taking her shirt off if she's cold? And she had tattoos all over. She, you know, I mean, it's like not, I'm not going to say she was ugly, but she wasn't the most attractive lady. And then I started noticing how it moved. And I was like, not that there's anything wrong with that. So then I get off and I go over to the Songtao. I tell the guy where I want to go. And guess what? 3 people pop on and she's one of them. And I'm like, uh-huh. And the guy keeps going, where are you going? Where are you going? And she didn't want to talk. And then finally the guy's like, I don't understand you. You're in Thai. She's Thai. And so in a very kind of like one of my fake Thai voices, female voices, she says something like, CASHAPP, you know, and the guy's like, huh? And I'm like going, oh man, that's not a good sign. I'm like, okay, so she's not as feminine as she might lead you to believe. And so the guy goes, it's 50 baht. And she's like fiddling around in her pocketbook, and she just goes, and then she jumps off, and then she starts with the fake ass waddling, walking away. And I realized, oh, she is maybe an in-betweener. I would say the likelihood was great. And that was another little experience. I was like, oh my God. Tattoos everywhere, flaunting their nipples, you know, like sticking them out so that people can see them. And the guy on the across from me is like looking, and I'm like looking at him. We're going, anyway. Well, people have been asking where you are, Longhorns. They're like, where's Longhorns? Like, oh, he's probably sitting there watching Gunsmoke, playing with his balls or something, farting. Who knows? 32 days to go. Ooh, almost under the 30. Under the big 30. Now that we are both full-time here, we need a new car and I want a truck. After trading and a deposit, the payments would be less than I was paying for cable, internet, phone in the U.S. Chevy Captiva. Ooh, what the fuck is that? You know, they have different cars here. I don't believe in the United States there is a Chevy City. I don't think they call it a Chevy City. It might be called the Chevy Shitty. But you know, back in the U.S., all I remember is the Accord and the Prelude. I don't remember any Honda City. There you go. You see? Watching Gunsmoke now. I know it. There we go. There you go, Gennaro. Somewhere over my shoulder. No, I didn't think they were, but there's all kinds of cars that are not sold in the U.S., but they're sold here. It's you start the car and then you can't stop it. You start moving, you can't stop. And then Jaws comes in and pulls you out by your head. I used to have a Honda Accord, and it was very nice. That I'm telling you, that car was a dream. You turn the key, the thing starts every time. It was fantastic. I don't know what year it was. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. Let me think here. If it was 32 years ago, holy shit, that would have made it and it was used. I thought it was an 87. Yeah, there you go. I love those things. I love Honda. I love the whole story of Honda. Mr. Honda. Wow, look at this. It's gonna rain, boys. Don't know if you can see. It's gonna rain. Nissan Juke. Car was great for getting in and out of places. Somebody yanked the electrical cord out of the wall here. The socket thing. Well, yeah, cars are expensive here. And you know, I mean, I've thought at length about, at various times of my stay here, buying a motorcycle or buying a car. And I just never do. I never want to pull the trigger. I never need to. Even I lived in Phuket, I just rented a motorcycle. If I knew I wasn't going to do anything for a couple of days, I took the bike back. And then I'd go and get the bike and I'd keep it for, you know, a month or 3 weeks or whatever, and I'd just pay it. And it was great. But if I was to move somewhere where like Jim is, or if I was out in an island somewhere, in an island, I'd probably just get a motorbike. But if I was on the coast somewhere, or like living somewhere like where we just came from, at my wife's, I think you got to have a truck. Yeah, you need to have a truck, because if you got to get around, if you need to move anything, if you need to transport some fruit or something like that, you know, for whatever reason, you want to sell it, you want to get rid of it, you know, you're moving stuff around, you really need a truck. You know, you get yourself a little sedan or a little two-door, it's not going to work, you know. Yeah, I mean, when I lived in Udon, I had a motorcycle, and I used to just carry, like I'd get a bag of groceries or 2 bags of groceries. I'd put one over this wrist, one over this wrist, and I just drive like that, you know. Yeah, if you saw that jungle video that I did, if you haven't, you should watch it, or please watch it. You might like it. It was hard to condense that video down because there was so much, I filmed so much stuff there. But the trip alone, and it's hard to see, but man, it was just it was so rough, that trip. It was an hour of kind of rough road, which was a bit of a shitty road, and then it was 2 hours of just dirt, and it was miserable, bouncing up and down all over the place, man. It was just not good, not fun. But like, if you're gonna go out somewhere like that, you try driving in some little 125C motorbike, or you try, you know, if it's not a big bike, something that's low to the ground, you try driving in some little sedan, you're just gonna ruin the vehicle. It's not gonna work. You need a big bike, or you need a truck, and the guy's truck was pretty big. I mean, it was hard to get in the back. Oh God. Oh yeah, she's hot, even with the, how do you know that? You know, there's one way to find out if they're hot. Give them a test run. That's the way. That's the true way. You know then. Right? You know, you never know. Yeah, they could look great. And I can tell you from experience that I've had a couple and I thought, man, whew, unbelievable. Unbelievable everything. Good looking, unbelievable body, and absolute fried egg. Dead fish. You never know. It's like you can't judge a book by its cover. I bet you would. I bet you would. Wow, I can't believe time's flown. You know, I haven't been doing that many streams. It's a little easier for me when I don't do streams every day. Because after a while, you know, I only got so many stories. Some butterfaces. That's funny. She was a butterface. Yeah, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, it's much easier for me to stream every couple of days, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if something's happening. And I'll tell you what, I'm sorry guys, I just don't have the same desire to walk around. I'm still, yeah, my shin is still scraped up. My knee is still scraped up. I don't know, Longhorns, if you saw me take a tumble the other day. Son of a bitch, my toe is still messed up from that. I'm walking down the street there. I'm getting ready to cross over the canal. And there's like 3 steps. But there's a little, I think it was you know, one of those concrete things that stops the car from going too far when they're parking. And I banged my toe into the end of it. And it hurt like hell, and I jumped up. I was like, ah, son of a bitch. I got the gimbal in my hand. And that made me go up a little bit and trip a little bit on the first step. And then because I was falling, I kind of stretched out and I went over the step. And then I was right at the edge of the canal. The phone was about this far from the edge of the canal. My shin hits, there you go guys. My shin hits the first step. Rolls onto my knee or whatever, scrapes my knee, scrapes my elbow, and it hurt. That was painful, and my toe hurt. You know when you stub your big toe and you really nail it good, like where you almost crack your toenail? It was not nice at all. That hurt and my foot still hurts a little bit. I'm still scraped up. That was a tumble, man. And I'm getting clumsy, you know. That's a sign of old age. Your coordination is starting to get worse. Mine is a little worse. My hands are still fine, but it's everything else. All right, so anyway, I'll survive. I wanted to talk about something, and this has absolutely nothing to do with Thailand. Well, in a way it does. And that is, I don't know if anybody remembers the pro boxer, Michael Carbajal. If you remember him, he was I believe he was a light flyweight, 108-pound fighter who lived in Phoenix. And I just happened to be looking at Facebook from, I guess, 2 days ago. And I see this fight up, and it's him against Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez. If anybody knows boxing, they might remember him. He was a champion, Mexican guy. And they fought 3 times. Carbajal would go on to lose the second and third fight by controversial, very close decisions. I think one was a split, one was a majority decision. And so anyway, the first fight, I was there. I went to the first fight in Las Vegas at the Hilton Hotel, and I see this fight playing on Facebook. I went with my buddy, good buddy of mine. I've known him for more than 30 years. He's a boxing fan, fight fan. We went there. Man, what you talk about a fight to remember. If you remember anything, this fight was about 30 years ago, something like that. 30, God, it had to have been 89 or something like that. So 33 years ago, about 33 years ago. There you go. Shall I refrain from telling my story? Objects in the mirror or in the camera are not or closer than they may appear. Well, that doesn't mean shit, fire dude. No ring doesn't mean anything. Anyway, let me finish my story real quick. So this guy Carbajal, he is in the Olympics. He gets a silver medal. I forget how come he doesn't get the gold, but he gets a silver medal. He has this fight against Gonzalez. I go there with my buddy. We're all excited. Gonzalez is like 35-1, and he'd lost like in the very beginning of his career, and he was on a roll. He was on a tear, and Carbajal was like 27-0. They were both champions. They did not like each other. So they have this fight. Carbajal gets knocked down twice in the fight. Like in the first or second round, and like the fourth or fifth round, he gets knocked down. Then he knocks down Gonzalez, I think in the 6th round. And then they are going at it non-stop. These guys are just wailing on each other. Standing right in front of each other, right in the pocket. And finally, Carbajal lands a punch and knocks Gonzalez out cold. You talk about just one hell of a fight. I see that on Facebook yesterday. I sent it to my buddy. I'm like, son of a bitch. I remember this fight. I was there. Just like Holyfield and Bowe. If you like boxing, Holyfield and Bowe. The first fight was incredible. And I'm like, I'll always remember that fight. I always liked Carbajal. And you know what happened was when Carbajal won the title originally, it was in his 15th fight. He fought a guy named Muang Chai Kirikasem, who is a Thai fighter. Kitty Kasem was a good fighter. And Carbajal knocked him out in like 7 rounds. Probably about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I'm over talking to Muang Chai Kitty Kasem. I had written an article about him. And somehow Michael Carbajal found out that I had written this article. He had seen it. And he got my phone number, and Michael Carbajal called me in Thailand. I talked to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend said, let me put him on. And so we start talking. I'm like, holy shit, you know. I was happy to talk to him. And apparently he wanted to fight Muang Chai Kitty Kasem again. They were both older, obviously. But he wanted to fight him. And I started talking to Muang Chai Kitty Kasem again, and then he had a car dealership. And then for whatever reason, I lost his number. I lost track of him. I couldn't find him. And then time went by, and I was like, well, you know, it's been a year now. I don't know what they want to. And then I found out that if you remember this guy, if anybody gives a shit here, well, neither does Amber Heard. Amber Heard doesn't look like she's going to take a dump in your bed, but you never know. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, or a woman who doesn't get what she wants. Anyway, if I can remember what the hell I'm saying. It came out later that Michael Carbajal's brother, who was with him his whole career, ended up stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from his brother, Michael, the fighter, from his retirement fund, and also his wife had the retirement fund, stealing from her as well. There you go, guys. I'll be nice. Listen, don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? There's no real need to get crazy. Anyway, if anybody gives a shit about this story, so they had this big thing where Michael Carbajal lost like everything that he had worked for, because his brother stole it from him. And then his brother was married to this lady, and she was supposed to testify about her husband stealing all this money from the fighter and also from her retirement account that was supposed to be for her and her husband. And she and somebody else in the family were shot dead 3 days before they were to go to court, and nobody ever solved that case. It was in Phoenix, Arizona. So for guys who like fights, I felt really bad when I read that, and I remember this something about him losing money. Now he's apparently better off, but for quite some time he was not in a good way. Because his brother stole his money. So, and there is a slight connection to Thailand, because in his 15th fight, he won his first world championship against Muang Chai Kitty Kasem, who I went and interviewed, and who Michael Carbajal, because of that, he ended up calling me, and I haven't talked to him ever since then, but yeah, there's that story, all right? What am I supposed to do? Just sit here for you guys and just like leave the camera right here? You guys, so you can see, like, you know, if some chick shows up or a boyfriend. You guys are terrible, man. You're dogs. Ugh. Gennaro, can we let's not, we don't need to, the whole dookie thing, that's just too much. She dropped the dookie in my bed. She dropped the deuce. Yeah, she's sorry, but she's a bit soft. if you know what I mean. I don't know any other way to say it other than flabby. Flabby and shabby. She's flabby and shabby. Oh, this is not. She seems nice though. Very polite. Looks like the big family or friends or co-workers or something is coming in to talk to her, but she seems very polite. There you go, yeah. Very proper. As you would expect. There you go, guys. I'm sure she does. Gennaro, you will never make it through the gauntlet. You will never make it through the gauntlet. Oh my God. What is with this guy walking by here? Jesus Christ. He's a fast walker. The foreigner walking in with his wet hair. Is it raining out? No, it's not. He's got wet hair, a hat on, and he's walking like really, really fast. I'm like, it's like almost scary. It's like, what's he running through here for? She's fine, just not my type. There you go, Longhorns. According to Gennaro, though, she's a keeper. What happened? She left you, Gennaro. She's gone. All right, one last thing. Has anybody seen the show on Netflix, Selling Sunset? I'm going to wait for the answer. Selling Sunset. Not me. It's quite interesting, and not for the reasons you might think. It's a show about selling real estate. You don't have a TV, Gennaro, really? I watched it. Dude, I don't think you know what HISO is if you think that she's HISO. She's not made HISO just by, from what I've seen, and from what you've seen. That doesn't mean HISO. It means she might have a good job and a little bit of money. I think if she was HISO, I think it takes a little bit more to figure that out than just from what you see right now. Oh, God, I gotta sneeze. Her perfume is making me sneeze. Well, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, it could just be that it's close by. To where something that they're taking part in is, or something. Who knows? But yeah, I understand that. That's another point. This is not what you would call an upscale shopping center in Thailand. This is blue collar. If she was, I'm gonna say if she was HISO, she would probably be in some boutique coffee shop where an espresso costs 150 or 200 baht, or she'd be having it at the Oriental Hotel or Peninsula or somewhere like that. The whole family have put on their Sunday best to come to Starbucks. Well, it's today's Sunday? No, it's Tuesday. All right, anyway. Do I have anything else? Wasn't there something else? Oh, Selling Sunset. What was the point of that? The point of this, my wife actually saw me watching it. She goes, what are you watching? I don't know, some stupid show. Some stupid show. It's called Selling Sunset. Not many that I've seen in my life that surpass that one. But anyway, this Selling Sunset. These real estate brokers are in this firm called the Oppenheim Group. and they are selling to places in Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills, all these multi-million-dollar estates. If 4 million, 10 million. They've had a couple 45, 50 million dollar houses. They had one that the guy wanted 75 million. And some of these places are absolutely phenomenal. The dog's gonna take an amber. All right. Anyway, let me finish this up. So these ladies, you know, there's all, and they're twins. The rest of them, there's about 8 of them, and they're all women. Now, these are not old women. These are not little 21-year-old women. These are 30 to 40-year-old women who are extremely attractive. Now, one of the girls is I don't know if she's got real blonde hair or if it's you know, extensions or whatever, but she's always made up like, you know, Marilyn Monroe. She's like a freaking movie star. And she's a good-looking woman, and she's got massive breasts. And she knows it. And she got married to some really rich dude. And they showed it on the show. Anyway, point being, my wife is like, why are all of these girls so damn good looking? They're all beautiful. They could all be like movie stars. I said, honey, they're not going to put on ugly chicks on TV. Not only that, if you're buying a home that is worth $10 million. Now, the guys are very knowledgeable, very professional. They're not obtrusive at all. They're very professional, and you know, they know their way around people who have a lot of money. And so he makes sure that he hires the best women. Now, the thing is that most of these women are hot as shit. And my wife is like, why are they hiring all these women that are so good looking? I'm like, you think they're gonna hire some chick? Really, I'm sorry to say it, but you think they're gonna hire some chick who's 350 pounds, chomping on a Burger King burger with ketchup on the end of her mouth, going in to sell some $10 million home? No, I don't think so. So every one of these women, beautiful. Oh, God, she's got big tits. Oh, look at that one. Oh, wow. Oh, this one, I think she's like fake. And then the thing is, you know, some of them got the tattoos all over, and I'm like, oh, man, there's one girl there. She's a nice-looking girl. Not really good-looking girl. She's like 40 years old, and she's a good-looking woman. She got tattoos on. Like, she got a tattoo on her foot, tattoo on her ankle, tattoo on her wrist. I'm like, ugh. I'm sorry, the package has been fouled. Of course, you know, that one's married to some 25-year-old guy, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, yes, that's the bottom line. Anyway, I went on and on and on. This has been almost a 3-hour stream. I don't know how I made it that long, especially because the only thing I was going to talk about is the justice system here. But you know what? It's just like anywhere else. Money talks, bullshit walks. You might even get off if you got enough money. So, anyway, life isn't always fair. That's the takeaway. You're screwed, especially here. And don't expect anything to be given to you here because, you know, just like in the States and everywhere else, it's going to cost you, and there's no way around that. So you get yourself into a little jam, sometimes you're going to have to pay. Sometimes you might be able to talk your way out of it, but many times you better be careful here. And that's my point a lot of the time, is not to be fearful, but, you know, be very cautious here, because don't always operate the same way as they do back in the States, and sometimes they do. And it's exactly the same. You got enough money, you might be able to get out of it. You don't, you might be sitting in jail for the next year or longer. So, anyway, that's all I got. We're almost at 3 hours. It's time to go. Money talks, but $2.99 Australian will get you an espresso. Thank you. Thank you, Dowlow. Hello, Dowlow. Thank you. Appreciate it. Choke D to you. Right at the buzzer. And I guess I'll talk to you probably some week, whenever. Thanks for joining me. Jim, take care. Thanks for those photos with the, was it Farang Lives Matter shirt? Appreciate that. And I'll just talk to you guys later. All right? Be well. All that good stuff. Till next time, Choke D, Joke and My. I'm Scott. I'm still an American in Bangkok.